Hey, what's up guys? John here. America's job market just flipped. And Stephen Ross, who is worth about $8.4 billion, he's the CEO and founder of Related, which is a real estate investing company, development company. And he's done extremely well for himself. He's probably one of the most successful real estate investors in the entire country. And what he believes is going to happen next is that this upcoming recession, coupled with inflation, is going to force people back into the office and people are going to be desperate to have a job. I think it's very unique, very interesting. And I think that what we could see here is that all the power is going to shift from the employee to the employer. Here's what's going on. Stephen Ross says that recession would bring employees back to the office out of fear for their jobs. Employers have been somewhat hesitant because they didn't want to lose their employees. And this is, letting people just work from home. They said, sure, work from home. We don't want to lose you. And then he goes on to say the U.S. is grappling with a tight labor market with the unemployment rate of 3.6% in May. There are now also fears of coming recessions after the Federal Reserve interest rate hike by the biggest amount since 1994 to combat soaring inflation. Now, what is going to happen here? When they increase interest rates, banks start to get a little bit more cautious about who they lend money to. Because they're likely going to be suffering some very, very big losses in former loans that they've issued. As we step into a recession, people start defaulting on loans. And so they don't want to, step into bigger problems, so they start cutting their bets, which is not great for small businesses that need access to capital to grow and expand, to hire, to invest in their businesses. So businesses that are not profitable, they end up going under in many cases. What I'm seeing right now, even in Florida, I'm in an office building here in Florida, and on my floor, there's only 3 offices that are occupied. So what he's saying is that the national office vacancy is about 40%, right? Where I am, it's much, much, much worse than that. I'll get up and actually show you in a second. But so what does this mean? That means if people are sitting on $1.1 trillion in outstanding credit card debt, $1.46 trillion in auto loan debt, $1.7 trillion in student loan debt, gas prices up over 100%, food prices are through the roof. What does this all mean? It means that if there's less people hiring, that people are going to be more desperate to stay loyal to a boss, to a company. They're going to really want stability. They're going to likely downsize their lifestyle in a very big and dramatic way to ensure that they have money coming in. Because now what happened? Big Brother shut off the faucet for stimulus, unemployment benefits, PP loans, all of this. So people aren't going to have the money coming in like they did before. And so what does this mean for an employer? It means that this is going to be the opportunity to attract amazing talent. Take a look at this. So I'm going to walk and I'll show you exactly what's happening here. So literally 3 offices. So you have this here, obviously vacant, vacant. There's one rented down this low here. Vacant, 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 vacant. Another lockbox right there, right? Another lockbox right there. So this kind of goes to show, use your imagination. You have interest rates rising. Cost to borrow money is picking up. You have businesses that are going to be going under. You have the household debt going through the roof, right? Household debt is going through the roof. And then we have people that need to make money, right? People are going to need to make money. And so if they need to make money, how are they going to do it? They're going to likely do it by trying to find a job. And if there's more people, just like in the housing market, if there's more home sellers than available buyers, what generally happens? Prices come down, right? Supply and demand. Well, now in the labor market, we could be stepping into a situation where there's so many people out there looking for work and there's not as many people hiring. So what would ultimately happen? Wages would be coming down. So wages would be coming down in an inflationary environment that people are to their teeths in debt, right? So they're up to their neck in debt. And so what is this likely going to look at? It means that most likely we could see a situation in where we have a Lamborghini or something, motorcycle, where we have a situation where we start to see people really reducing their overall lifestyle, right? So if they're reducing their overall lifestyle, they're reducing their quality of living, and they're desperate to find a job, this could ultimately be an amazing opportunity for a savvy investor, for a savvy business owner, for an entrepreneur, for someone that wants to partner up and attract talent. Because you think about it this way, you have all these people out there that are extremely talented and smart in America that are just looking for a moment to where they can seize freedom. And how can they do that? Probably by partnering up with someone and realizing their potential through a business, right? If you need $40 an hour or $50 an hour to make it in a decent city today, in a decently expensive city today, what does that mean? It means people are going to be chasing $50, $100 an hour, and they're not going to be able to find that in a traditional job, right? So if you're thinking about starting a business, maybe you're thinking about, finding some type of opportunity, this is like the best time. This is the best time. Even look at this here. So right now, employees are still not coming back to the office in force. Office occupancy rates in the U.S. 44% as of June 8th, according to data from Castle Systems, an office security firm. That's the highest rate since the pandemic started, but still far from the almost 100% attendance rate in early March of 2020, before the pandemic was indicated, right? Some corporate leaders are actively working to bring in remote workforce back to the office. Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz said last week he was doing everything he could to get staff to return to the office, but they are not returning at the level he wants to get employees back to the office. Tesla CEO Elon Musk issued an ultimatum to executive staff earlier this month, telling them to return to the office or quit. On the other end of the spectrum, Airbnb is allowing people to work from home. But what we're going to like to see is the boss, the employer, calling the shots. They're going to be the ones with the power going forward, not the employee. And that was the situation and the problem for business owners the last couple of years, is that employees wanted $25 or $30 an hour to make up for inflation. But inflation isn't the problem of the business owner. The business owner, in many cases, was also hit with inflation and rising costs and rising issues. So they don't absorb both. And soon, the entire market's going to realize that. So what I think is going to happen, you want to start a business, you want to start something, this is the moment. It's never going to get better than right now to start forming an idea or a plan or a strategy or recruit talent or build out some type of structure in which you're going to be able to execute on this plan. Because the next 3 years is going to be the land of opportunity for smart and savvy and entrepreneurs and investors. Because what I think is ultimately going to happen as well is, as we see a lot of companies that were in business the last couple of years, they start to fold. You're going to have less competition. There's going to be a much better opportunity for you to build out a good team. You're going to be able to grow and scale that. And if you do it right and you build something big, you're going to be able to invest when things hit the fan, and you're going to be able to multiply your wealth. So I think we are stepping into a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I think that the next 3 years is the time to do it. And the reason I say that is that 2024, 2025, as we start 2026, we start getting closer or further into the future. I think AI, robotics, and tech, they're going to have a much, much bigger role in our everyday lives. These big corporations, what's the big deal for them to throw money at new industries and take a shot at it and start incorporating technology into it to bring costs down to a level to where it doesn't even make sense to start it, right? That's what they're going to be doing, growing, scaling, and dominating industries at levels that we can't imagine in the coming few years. Subscribe here. Also subscribe to my second channel. It's going to be an interactive call-in show starting next week. I got the TV right here, so it's going to be where people are going to be able to call in and show me real estate deals. We're going to be able to talk about the economy, business, talk about everything. It's going to be really, really cool. And also follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. Everything's in the banner. If you need help with your credit score, my team, my in-house credit repair team is incredible. cashnow.video. If you want to get started on YouTube, want to partner up with me on your YouTube channel, get advice from me, bi-weekly phone calls, YouTube courses, private community, cashnow.video. You want to learn about real estate investing? Cashnow.video. I think the market's going to really take a downturn. I think really big investing opportunities are going to be coming. Cashnow.video. All right, guys, catch you on the next one.